Evening, everyone. Good evening to all members of staff of Metaface Company. We are glad to be here this evening. Thank you for having us do this with your company. And I want to say a very big thank you to Madam Bliss, who has been working on this to make it a reality. You're all welcome. My name is Adeola Oshideko. You can call me Adeola. I am the Senior Director of Crystal Edge Professional Services. Crystal Edge Professional Services is a training and branding consultancy company. So what we do is we train people on 4 major things: emotional intelligence, personality development, public speaking, and corporate relationship management. Then we also offer branding services. So if you want to rebrand your business, or a new startup want to give the business a beautiful brand image, we do that for them. So that's basically what we do in our company. And with me is Mrs. Bliss, who is part of the team and part of our staff of the company. Once again, you're welcome. And today we are going to be talking about personality development, how it affects your job and how it affects your other areas of life. You agree with me that we have a life outside our job. We have a family. Some of us, we have businesses that we run, maybe small business, maybe big. Even on WhatsApp, people do business. We have family. We relate with people even outside our work environment. Even within our work environment, we relate with people. And it is very important that we understand the concept of personality development, because if you understand your own personality and you understand the personality of other people, there are so many conflicts in organizations today that will be avoided, that will be totally that will not be in the first place. You know, we have something we call conflict resolution, because we believe that there is no way 2 people or 3 people or group of people will relate over a period of time that there won't be friction, there won't be misunderstanding, there won't be disagreement. So we call those things conflict. And what we are saying is that, yes, it's good to be able to understand how to resolve conflict, but what about avoiding that conflict in the first place? If there's no conflict, there's nothing to reconcile. So I think conflict, the situation whereby we prevent conflict, is even more important than trying to resolve conflict. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now, so that we can. Oh, Madam, please, can you give me the right to share my screen? Okay. Okay, so I would love to know once my screen can be seen. Once you can see my screen, just let me know. So so let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. So this is personality development training. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for confirming that. As the training is going on, we can use the chat button to communicate anything we want to talk about, so that there won't be distractions. So, like I said, what we are going to be talking about is personality development and how it affects our personal life, our interpersonal relationship, and our work. So let's get started. This is a very, very comprehensive training, but we won't be able to go through everything, even though it is just 29 slides. But I can assure you, can you see, we will not be able to finish everything within 45 minutes. So when it's time to stop, I will let you know where we're going to be stopping. But let's just continue as we have the time. So this is the table of content, Module 1 and Module 2. Under Module 1, we have getting started. So we are trying to understand the concepts of personality development. We are trying to understand the concept of personality development as it affects us as individuals. So we said What is personality development? Personality development also include reputation, self-image, personality, and character. Then we have module 2 personality types. We have DISC, which I call DISC, CSPM, temperament, CPA, introvert and extrovert. So yes, please. You can't see my screen. Really? Can someone else confirm?
I can see the screen. I can also see the screen.
So I guess the problem is for your side. Sorry. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So we have module 1. So for the purpose of today's training, can we all mute ourselves, please? We have a lot of background noises. Can we all mute ourselves? Okay, thank you. If you are not speaking, please mute yourself. Madam, please, can you mute everyone, please, so that we won't have distractions? Thank you. So, okay, I'm now the host. Okay. Okay, but muting people while I'm talking will be kind of very, very stressful for me. So let's everyone just mute themselves, please, so that we'll have a smooth ride. Thank you. So we said module 1 is what is personality development. So let's look at what personality development is. So we have other modules anyway. We have module 3, which is etiquette. We have module 4, which is grooming, poise and grooming. And we have module 5, which is self-concept. But we are not going to be going into all that. We are going to be limiting ourselves to module 1 and 2, which is getting started, getting to know about personality development and the personality types that we have. So what is personality development? Before we go into personality, what personality development is, I think it is important for us to understand the word personality. So what do we mean by personality? Personality refers to individual differences in characteristics, pattern of thinking, feeling, and behaving. The way I think, the way I behave, the way I feel is not the same way you behave, it's not the same way you think, it's not the same way you feel. And that is what makes our personality different. So the difference between all of those things is what we call personality. The difference between all of those things is what we call personality. So it's a combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinct character. So all the things that forms your character as a human being, as an individual, is what we can refer to as your personality. You will all notice that there are sometimes you say, oh, I like that woman. I love her personality. Oh, I like that man. I love his personality. So when you say you love somebody's personality, what are you talking about? You're saying you love the qualities that makes that person a distinct human being. Qualities like the way they feel, the way they think, the way they behave, the way they talk, the way they walk, and the way they walk. You know, so all those things put together is what makes someone's personality. Everyone's personality is unique. In fact, personality is the sum total of all our behavioral and mental characteristics by which an individual is recognized as unique. So, like I said, we all have unique personalities. You can never be the same with another person, never. There will be few things that will be different. Maybe the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you behave, the way you do things generally will be different. So even if you are twins, you will never have the same personality. Personality is a typical pattern of thinking. I've talked about that, feeling, behavior, and that makes someone unique. What makes your personality? So what are the things that makes up your personality? I've also talked about that. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you walk, the way you dress, the way you comport yourself, the way you react, the way you behave, and the way you get along with other people. The way you get along with other people, even the way you make your decision. There are some decisions that you make based on your personality, based on who you are. We can never make decisions the same way, okay, because we do not have the same personality. Okay, so please give me 1 minute. I will be right back. Sorry for that interruption. Okay, so let's continue. So we've talked about all those things. That personality is your unique identity, is your individual identity. Personality is an extension of your personal. How you present yourself, how other people perceive you. That's another thing. You know, I made mention of you talking about, oh, I love his personality. I love our personality. So we can say that personality is the way other people perceive you, what they think of you. Who do they think you are? How do they think you behave? So it's not even just about you thinking, oh, I'm a good person, I behave well. You need to be able to ascertain that other people see you in that light. They perceive you that way. Because you should be able to leave a favorable first impression on people when you meet them and make them want to be around you. Some personality are so inspirational. They want to talk, walk, and just be like them. A good personality cannot be developed overnight. It takes conscious effort to be an individual who is liked by others. A good personality cannot be developed overnight. That means developing your personality is an intentional action, is an intentional act. And that is where we have personality development. So, you know, when I started, I said, before we talk about personality development, let's first talk about personality. So now that we understand the personality, we are moving to the development part. So since you now understand that your personality is what makes people like you, is what makes people know you, is what makes people accept you, is the perception that people have about you. It is now very important, and I think compulsory, if you allow me to use that word, to be able to develop a good personality. So the conclusion is that, okay, we've talked about this. Now let's talk about your reputation. So these are the components under personality. We have reputation, we have self-image, and we have character. So we are going to be picking them one after the other. Reputation, self-image, and character. So what is our reputation? Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Reputation is what people think of us. Personality is what we seem to be. And character is who we really are. Reputation is what people think of you. Who do they think you are? How do they perceive you? Your personality is what you seem to be. Like I said, your personality is what you seem to be. But you also need to be able to extend that personality to your reputation. Like if I think, oh, I am a funny person. You know, some people, they believe they are funny. And that's why they crack joke. And people will be like, what's this one saying? Like, you are not funny. And they're like, I'm funny. I just said something funny. Now, being funny is your personality, is what you think you are. But other people do not see you that light because that's not your reputation. But I'm just using that funny as an example anyway. Maybe not literally, but as an example. So people might not see you in that light, and your character is who you really are. Are you really funny? So because you can really be funny, but people still do not perceive you as funny. Okay, so most of us do not invest enough in character. We like to invest more in our reputation and personality, but tend to neglect our character. Sadly, it is our character that truly defines us. If you have a good character, then the other two may follow close behind. So what we are saying is that while you're trying to work on your personality, it's also important that you work on your character because they are not the same. Your personality is who you think you are. Your character is the real you. Like, to be honest, to be frank, to be honest with yourself, this is the real you. Because you know, at times we lie to ourselves that this is who we are. Meanwhile, we are something else. But your reputation is not how people now perceive you. Who do they think you are? So all those three need to come together and align. But we are being told that your character should precede. After your character, then automatically your personality and your reputation will be taken care of. So I think that is clear. Now let's talk about self-image. Like I said the other time, self-image is how you perceive yourself. Who do you think you are? How do you perceive yourself? A self-image is an internalized mental picture or impression you have about yourself. Like a lot of people in their head, they are rich. They are the richest person in their village, in their head. So they have a mental picture of being rich. That's the self-image. And a self-image can just be a mental picture without actualizing. In some people's head, they think you are the best. So they have the self-image. Yes, it's good to have a good self-image about yourself, but it's good that your self-image and your personality align. So it's talk about what are your hopes and your dreams? What do you think and feel about yourself? What have you done throughout your life and what do you want to do? These images can be positive, giving a person confidence in their thoughts, action, or negative, making someone doubtful of their capabilities and ideas. So you can have a positive mental image of yourself or self-image, or you can have a negative one. If you have a positive one, what does it do for you? It helps you to build confidence. It helps you to believe in yourself, in your dreams and your hopes, in your aspirations. It helps you to be able to stand tall and withstand storm. It helps you to be able, it helps you not to quit when you have been in the ocean of life. Also this positive self-image helps you to be able to have good confidence in yourself and not to doubt your capabilities and ideas. I also believe that is quite clear. So we've talked about character. Let's not go there again. So overall, in conclusion, we can say that almost everyone will agree that honesty, integrity, loyalty, dependability are good qualities of a person. If we want a certain trait for ourselves, we should determine which one is important. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial suffering can the soul be strengthened. You must be intentional about building good character. It is a deliberate act. I mentioned it. It's not something you just think will just fall on you. It's a deliberate act. You must deliberately tell yourself, I want to have a good character. I want to have a good personality. I want to be likable. I want to be lovable. I want to attract good, because if you have good character and good personality, the truth is you will attract good people to your life. That is it. So you might be wondering why we're saying all this. Oh, it's really important that we understand this background so that you will know why you need to develop your personality. Why should you understand your personality type? So now we are talking about personality. We understand what personality is all about. Then we are talking about personality type. But why is it important that you understand your personality type? Because a lot of people, they complain. I have a bad boss. My boss is not a good person. He's not nice. He's not this. He's not that. He's harsh. Yes, I know some people who are bad people, like we have bad bosses. But I can assure you that there's some of them that even though they are hard, they are strict, if you understand this personality development we're talking about, you will be able to relate with them well without any issue. But the truth is, do you even understand your own personality? Not to talk of another person's personality. So people often fall into the trap of mistakenly believing that most other people share the same view, opinion, attitude, and traits that they do. Like, this is one of the first problems I have in life, thinking that every other person is like me. So when I'm thinking about something, I already want you to know. I am already thinking, you should know this thing. And I know a lot of us will have encountered that thing, people with our colleague at work or maybe our boss. And you are thinking, this is something you should know now. And you're like, why will you not know this? Why will anyone on earth not know this thing? No, because we are making the mistake of thinking other people are like us. We are making the mistake of thinking they share the same views with us. They have the same opinion, attitude, trait. No. So if you understand personality development, you will be able to understand that, you know what? Everyone, it cannot be like you because they don't share the same thing with you. Understanding some of these core personality traits, as well as those of the people you are close to, is also helpful in relationship. I think I've talked about that a lot. Now, for example, if you are an extrovert, but your spouse is more of an introvert, you will be better able to spot the signs that your partner is getting exhausted, that needs to take a break from socializing. For instance, I'm an extrovert, and some of the times I have a daughter who is an introvert. But because I've understanding all this personality development, I am able to deal with her. I am able to help her because I now understand. Okay, so Personality development help you to understand other people's personality so that you won't have issues with them. For instance, if you're an introvert and your spouse or your boss at work is an extrovert, you will be able to understand that, oh, this is the way introvert behave. This is the way extrovert behave. Before now, I usually think, why will you not talk? You know, me, I'm an extrovert. I talk a lot. I am very, very expressive. I'm very, very vocal. And when I see someone who is just like not talking, any question, no question, any addition, no addition, I'm like, why will you not talk? Why? You know, until I begin to understand that I do not share the same personality with other people. Some are extroverts, some are introverts, some are ambiverts, depending on the situation. So when you understand it, it will help you to be able to relate well with other people, understanding that you don't share the same personality traits. Okay. So it also helps you to understand situation and allow you to perform your best. It also helps you to understand your strengths and your weaknesses, identify your likes and your dislikes. So when you understand your personality, you will understand your strengths and your weaknesses. For instance, I'll be using myself as an example. So we have 3 classes of personality types. I'll be explaining it to you. But my personality type is dominant, for a group, dominant, extroverts, and adults. You understand what all of them means very shortly. You understand it. So for dominant now, for people who have the dominant personality, they are like leaders. They always want to be in charge. Now, that can be a weakness and that can be a strength, depending on where you find yourself. For instance, you won't always find yourself in a situation where you will be leading. What happens when you now find yourself in a situation where you will be like a subordinate? If you are not careful, that your dominant personality will put you into trouble, because you won't want your boss to talk. As your boss is saying A, you are saying B. Oh, no, sir, it cannot be like that. It should be like this, and your boss will be like, who the hell are you? Are you the boss or am I the boss? And with that, you will be having problem. So when you understand that you have a dominant personality, you tell yourself, Adiola, this place you are going to, you are not the leader there. You know, give yourself brain. I just use that word in quote. Give yourself brain. You are not the leader. You are a subordinate here. So whatever your boss is saying here, you should be whatever you are going to listen to. But in a case where you are the leader in a team or a group of people, you already understand that you are the one leading this team. So you can now exhibit your personality there, your dominant personality. So what am I trying to say? It helps you to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your likes, your dislikes. And, you know, it helps you a lot all around that. So this one is saying that maybe you have always hated talking on the phone, but never really understood why. Or perhaps you have always needed a little extra time to think about a problem before making a decision. So you might be wondering, why do I hate? Because I prepared this slide based on my personal example. I hate talking on the phone. I don't like phone calls. I prefer chats. I prefer messages. I prefer emails. So you might be thinking, because before I understand all this personality stuff, I will ask myself, why do I hate this particular thing? But because I now understand my personality, it helps me to be able to dig it down to, okay, I think this is part of my personality traits. And I was even thinking I was abnormal until I threw it open one day in the public, and a lot of people said the same thing, that they also hate phone calls. And I'm like, okay, I'm not alone on this. So that's one of the traits that I have in my personality, because phone calls send me into it triggers me into anxiety mood. So I really like to avoid phone calls, except it's extremely important. That is when I'll pick calls or make calls. So when you understand all these small things, you might be saying, what does that have to do with me? No, it has a lot to do. It has a lot to do. So when you see people you are calling, and they're not picking, you might want to look at it that, okay, maybe their personality doesn't really like phone calls. What about you using a text message or a chat or an email, alternatively in the work environment? Okay. So let me go back to the first slide where we talk about the types of personality types. So we have 4 types of personality. You can do a screenshot of this, or if you have your pen and notepad, you can write this down. So we have 4 types of personality. We have the DISC, we have the CSPM, and we have the CPA. Then we have the introvert and the extrovert. So we have all these things are personality types. So what happened is that we have 4 school of thoughts. We have 4 people, or let me call it 4 school of thoughts, coming together to say, we want to know what are the types of personalities we have. So one school of thought said, was for me, I am going to classify personality as DISM. Dominant, intentional, steady, and consensual. That is how I want to categorize personality types. Okay, so some people came together and said, no, we are not going to go by that school of thought. We are going to categorize personality type as CSPM, choleric, sanguine, phlegmatic, and melancholy, based on their temperaments. That's how we want to classify personality. So some people said, no, that's not the way we want to classify our own personality. We want to classify it as CPA, child, parent, and adults. And another school of thought said, we are going to classify personality just based on 2 things, introverts and extroverts. I know by now we are already understanding what we are talking about here. So we are going to look at each school of thought one by one. And so for this DISM now, for me, I am D, dominant. For DSPM, I am C and S. I am more choleric, like let's say 60% choleric and 40% sanguine. And for CPA, I am more of an adult, A. Then for introvert and extrovert, I am an extrovert. So by the time we go into the details of all of this now, I am very sure you will understand what each of them means, and you'll be able to place your hand on where you come in all of this, like which one is applicable to you. So let's go back to the slides. So we are going to take the CSPM first, which is the choleric, sanguine, phlegmatic, and the melancholy. So as you can see on my screen, we have the types, we have all the characteristics of choleric. We call them the ruling dominant type. Choleric people are dominant people. They want to dominate wherever they are. They want to be in charge. They are leaders. They are born leaders. So roles, some of them are leaders, producers, builders. They are fire. They are always peeling fire. They are very, very energetic, very ambitious, very strong. And so these are the strengths of being a choleric. These are the weaknesses. Choleric strength, they are ambitious. Like I said, they're ambitious, they're passionate, they are leader-like, they're focused, efficient, practical, good at planning, good at problem solving, confident, motivating, a delegator, and usually right. They are always right. So I thought I'm not even 60% choleric. Let me just say I'm like 70% choleric, because like all of these attributes are just like pin for me. They're just like on point for me. Great in an emergency. I'm very ambitious. I'm passionate. Even the way I speak, you will know that, oh, this one is ambitious. She's passionate. She's leader-like, focused, practical, good in planning. Yeah, I'm very, very good in planning. I'm very confident. My confidence level is 100%. Motivating, a delegator, usually right. I'm always right, And I wouldn't see this as a strength anyway. I would have seen it as a weakness, because you can't be right always. It's a weakness. If you're a choleric, it's weakness you have to work on. So some of their weaknesses is that they are aggressive. Yeah, I can be very aggressive, domineering. Yeah, inflexible, impatient. In fact, you see this impatience and that's why it is important that you understand this personality development a lot. Before I began to do all this training, before I began my business, before I began to understand all those things, I never knew that this impatience was a problem for me. I am very, very impatient. Very, very impatient. I just want my things done now. And most of the time I get into trouble because I'm not patient enough. I make bad decisions. I lose money. I lose relationship even at times. So, but now that I've been able to identify all those things, I am more careful. I am more intentional about managing them, because now I understand them. Okay. We're going to end this training now, and we are going to take the part 2 later. So please watch out for the part 2 of this training. Thank you.